Hey, I'm Tina, a guitar player from Berlin, and today I'd like to show you 10 really cool modern guitar rhythms from different players, from Metheny to Scofield, Rosenwinkel, Lage, Julian Large, Remler, Frisell. The list goes on. I think we can learn so much from the masters. They have so many cool ideas, and everybody has a different approach to playing jazz, to playing chords, to accompanying somebody. I think that's really what it's all about, that you find your own way to express yourself, but at the same time really learn from the people that came before you. So the first example is already one of my absolutely favorite records, East Coast Love Affair. And the way Rosenwinkel is playing in this trio setting, for me it's revolutionary. He's playing sort of a, if you will, bossa nova samba pattern, but then with always downstrokes, not with picking. You can think about it like a samba pattern without the fingers, right? Very pianistic, it's very groovy, and it has a pattern that repeats itself, but then he leaves the pattern and comes back to it again, and that's something we're going to see a lot in the other example. The next track is from Scofield's new album, Solo. You can find it on the ECM label. Learn those chords and then play along with the masters. There's also a PDF that you can get in the description box below, and you'll have all the chords, especially for this one, Scofield. I couldn't help myself. I transcribed an entire chorus of his comping. This record is so full of positive energy. I mean, Metheny, I don't need to introduce him, I think, but you know that he has been selling out concert halls for years and years in the US, and I think worldwide. Listen to this next track. It's in 7/4. Have you heard? There's only 4 chords. You can use your shell voicings. Just play along. It's really cool. Lionel, Loueke, if you don't know him, check him out. There's also a very interesting podcast, The Third Story. I'm going to link that podcast below. I love this tune, right? It's about a bird flying over the fields, and I think if you listen to him play this intro, it's in 7/4, you can really hear the bird flying. So the next example is probably my greatest hero, and I'm admiring him so much, and I chose this recording Alone Together. It's a duo recording with Ron Carter, and they're playing St.Thomas, and I transcribed what Jim Hall is playing behind Ron Carter as an accompaniment. If you really listen, it's really kind of funky, but it's also very light, and again, it's as always about the feeling. You can't put those nuances into sheet music. It's just not possible. So try to play those chords along with Jim and try to be like Jim Hall for a day. By the way, there's a PDF with all 10 examples that I'm discussing here. All of these examples, you can really play it on any guitar. Some examples are harder, others are more easy. Just take your guitar and go outside, sit in the park and try 1 or 2 of those examples. You can listen to those recordings on Spotify. I made a list, and just try to play along and enjoy playing the guitar. This next example is from Emily Remler. Softly as in a morning sunrise, it's on her record East to West, and she's playing softly in E minor, and she has this beautiful intro with like an ascending bass line with chords that are not so hard to play, and you can at all times play the open B string or the open E string in between. Don't overdo it, just every now and then as a touch of an open string. The open string sounds so different. And yes, let's hear how it sounds. So I guess Bill Frisell, he's really like the master of minimalistic guitar playing, and in this example the chord more or less has one note or two or three notes. That's very typical for him. He's more like thinking in intervals and thinking in sounds, and if you really hear what you play, you don't need so many notes sometimes, right? So I think this is a very good exercise in listening and just reducing everything to its essence. So this Lage intro, it's cool, but I didn't understand a word in the beginning. Thank God my boyfriend is a drummer and he told me it's triplets, right? And I figured out, or we figured out, that it's like a 5-note group of triplets that keeps repeating, but at a certain point there's an extra 8-note break in between, so that the whole thing repeats after 3 bars, and then the band comes in at a later point, and then everybody knows what's happening, but you're starting sort of like in obscurity. So this tune, Twilight Surfer from Julian Large, is a blues, or it's bluesy if you will. He's playing an F7 chord and all seems so simple, but don't fool yourself. I think Julian Large is one of the most sophisticated, I even want to say philosophical players I know. You need to play it with hybrid picking, I guess, because you have sort of this folky picking, but in between he's playing those blues lines. And for my feeling, if you want those blues lines to feel really bluesy, I need to have a pick in my hand. Hand jive is in 5/4, and Peter Bernstein is playing such an elegant and swinging guitar. If you have ever the chance to hear him live, go and just enjoy an evening that will feel so good, because he's really swinging so much and I really love his playing so much. I thought this example is also a great example that you could use on other tunes, like on Summertime. Just take the rhythm or write your own tune and try to improvise in another meter. If you like this video, you might also like this video about 10 intros, how you can build your own intros. I think that's something that's very useful, and there are actually some tricks that you can have in your sleeve, up your sleeve, and then you pull them out and then you already have something that you know that you can do. And I'm babbling on. I see you next week. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comment sections. Go get your guitar and practice. Bye bye.